Hi everyone, this is the Climbing Flow podcast, and today's guest is Svana Bjarnason. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. So I have a chat today with Svana, and we talk about failure. We talk about how setting mini goals to working towards a bigger goal can really help keep motivation up. We talk about her road to competing for France and then moving to Iceland. She's super optimistic person. It was a really nice chat, really nice to have a chat with Svana, and I'll let you listen to the podcast. How's things?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Well, thank you for having the time to chat. That's great. What I'll do is I'll do a quick introduction,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll have a chat and
Okay.
take it from there.
All
Yeah,
right. I did
cool.
not prepare anything because I didn't know what we were
But
going to
so,
talk
so,
about.
so please, so the whole format is that um, I think I've been on a few podcasts before for myself,
Hmm.
and when I've been given the questions beforehand, it's felt very wooden because I knew what the questions were going to be. So I'd already pre-prepared the answers in my head, and
Mm-mm.
it didn't feel very comfortable or flowy.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
So
No, it's fine for me.
yeah, it's fine for me too. We got all the time in the world. Cool. So this is the 27th episode for the Climbing Flow podcast, and today's guest is none other than Svana Bjarnason. Am I pronouncing that correct?
Yeah, almost. It's Svana Bjarnason. So yeah,
Svana
close.
Bjarnason.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try my best. Svana's part French and part Icelandic. She's a competitive climber, has climbed 8C. You like to DJ?
Yes, I love DJing.
Yes, and you like pink and unicorns.
And glitter and leopard print and zebra print as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm sorry to leave those out. And you're an engineer.
Yes, I am. I don't currently work as an engineer, but I do have the degree.
Okay, so what was your degree in?
Civil engineering.
Okay,
I worked as an engineer for, I think, 2 years, and then I started working a bit less and less part-time, but I started working part-time like 90%.
okay,
Then I went to 70%, and now I'm working part-time at 20%,
okay,
which is not a lot, I know,
okay.
but enough though.
Yeah.
And yeah, that means I could not keep my engineering job. So I'm still working in the same company, but I do some community management things. So like I don't work anymore as an engineer.
Okay, cool. So why the change away from engineering? So what are you doing for the other 80% apart from climbing?
Climbing, no, just climbing. It's just I really wanted to turn more into a pro climber, I guess.
Okay.
So I've always said that I'm like a part-time pro climber because I still have a job on the side because with sponsors and stuff, I don't earn enough money.
Yeah.
And also, I think, well, in my opinion, it was important to keep a foot in the real world, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I like to have my brain work a little bit. So I thought it was good to try and balance these two things.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I did this. But I really wanted to improve my climbing.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, if you want to climb hard stuff, like hard stuff for your level, you need to really commit to it. And if you work a full-time job, well, at least for me, it was not possible.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that must have been, I guess, a quite hard journey for you to be. I guess I'm guessing you financed a lot of things yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that must be quite tough, that journey.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a bold decision at the time, a bold decision at the
Yeah.
time. And like my parents were not really into it. My friends were also a bit like, well, are you sure you're going to do this? Because how are you going to live? But yeah, I had faith in myself and in my abilities, and I made it work.
Yeah,
So now I think I'm really lucky to have to be able to live this life. But at the same time, I don't really like saying that I'm lucky because I worked hard for it. I
yeah,
made sacrifices for it as well.
yeah,
Like for example, now I live in Spain, which is amazing. But it's also because I can't afford to live in France because I don't earn enough money. So it's a choice, but at the same time, not really a choice. And it's all about, yeah, these sacrifices you make, but you know why you make them, and you just, yeah, build your life around this. And if you like it, then it's good.
yeah. I guess parents don't always know what the best option is for you, right?
Mm-mm. Yeah, exactly. But after a few months, they just saw how happy I was. And also, I never asked them for money or anything.
Yeah,
So they were like, yeah, okay, I guess you made the right decision. And I think now they're really proud that I'm able to live this life without
yeah.
having to ask them for anything.
And having worked for it yourself.
Yes,
Yeah. Well done to you. I think what one
thank
is
you.
quite a brave step to, I think it's quite a brave step to step away from comfort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
Mm-mm.
think a lot of people, I read a statistic recently where 60% of people are unhappy in their job. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
and yet people stay within their job because it provides them something they know. And when they step away from that, they have to step into the unknown, and that with that brings discomfort.
Yeah, and that's scary as hell. Like for sure, if you can stay in your comfort zone and you have security and everything, like why would you change?
Yeah,
But yeah, I've also realized that many of my friends who live this normal life, they're not that happy, but they're not brave enough in a way. They don't dare trying anything else because they want that security. And I completely understand.
yeah,
It's just not what I chose, but
yeah.
I do understand that it's easier to stay in your comfort zone for sure.
Yeah. Well done. I think it takes,
Thank you.
yeah. What type of mindset? I guess you like when I was researching you. I guess you one like you're maybe a personality that likes a challenge
Yes,
and
big challenges.
big challenges. Yeah, I was just going to say challenge, but I think reading between the lines, you like to feel discomfort and work your way through it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's where does that come from?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I have no clue. It's just who I am, I guess.
Have you always been like that? Have you always seeked like
um,
a
I
challenge
don't
in life?
I don't think so. I think when I was a kid, I was a pretty boring kid, I would say, like
Okay,
quite shy and doing stuff. And actually, when I started climbing, I was really not good at it. I was just going there to be with my friends and hang out with them, but I was barely climbing. And that really pissed off my brother, who wanted me to be good at climbing. So he was like complaining about me all the time. But I was not good at it, so I didn't think like, yeah, I should push it because yeah, it's not comfortable, you know, to push yourself if you're not good at something. But then I actually started competing and I started winning competitions, even though I thought I was not really good at it. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can actually do something. And then starting from this, I started competing in national competitions. And I was like, I remember my first national competition, I was last.
okay,
So it was not good. I realized, oh, okay, I can win local competitions, but at a national level, I'm actually pretty bad. But it really pushed me. And I think that's the first time I turned into this girl who enjoys challenges, because I decided at that time that I wanted to enter the French team.
yeah,
So if you're last at a national competition, it's not going to work, right? You're going to have to work your ass off to be able to reach that goal. But
yeah,
it was my big dream at the time, and I worked really hard for it, and I actually managed to do it. 3 weeks after I broke my ankle. So the doctors told me like, no, you can give up on your dream because it's not gonna work. You just broke your ankle. You cannot walk. Like you won't be able to climb. But
Yeah.
I climbed, like I trained for 3 weeks with one leg. And I actually became really strong thanks to this. And I took part in that selection, team trials competition. Um, and I didn't have any pressure because I knew that I had lost time, that I was injured, so no pressure. And
Yeah.
that's when I actually managed to get in the French team, whereas before I couldn't. So I realized, oh, okay, so I think big challenges like this, it's exactly what drives me in life. And
Yeah.
yeah, it started this pattern of me like wanting to overcome things in a way. And yeah, it
So,
worked out like this.
so I guess your brother saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself.
Maybe it's possible, yes.
Yeah. He obviously saw potentially, I'm guessing, he potentially saw some natural inclination to climbing movement.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So I guess what is it that you like about climbing?
Quite it's everything. It's I think it's the freedom you have when you're at a crag on a route by yourself and just fighting against a piece of rock, basically. It
Yeah.
sounds stupid, but once you're up there alone and just fighting and trying to do the perfect movements, yeah, for me, it's a real free feeling of freedom. And it's not just climbing itself, it's also everything that comes with it. So the lifestyle, the
Yeah.
friends, the yeah, like I live in Oriana, so in Catalonia in Spain, and for me it's really like I built a new family here, and if I go to the crag, it's not just to climb; it's also to see my friends, my family,
Yeah.
and to just hang out with them. And it's this whole lifestyle that I love. I think
Yeah.
about climbing. It's not just the climbing itself.
Yeah. 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 It's yeah. Yeah. But you're an engineer. I've found that there are lots of I guess there are lots of engineers, there's lots of scientists, there's lots of mathematicians, there's lots of people that have a certain mind that like climbing.
Mhm.
I think it's the analytical side that is quite, you get a lot of nerdy people in climbing.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
like,
because it's quite basic climbing. It's just like you learn the move and you do them, you know?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And you train and you get stronger and then you're able to do things. So it's quite logical and yeah, easy in a way,
yeah,
theoretically.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you're in Oleana. How long have you been there for?
I've been living here for 5 years now. I'm actually celebrating my 5 years here like now, these days.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I guess I guess what was your journey like to climb for the French national team and then the Icelandic national team?
So, like I said, when I was a kid, I started competing, and I got this dream of compete for the national team quite fast, actually. And I managed to do it at the very end of my years in the youth categories. So when I broke my ankle, it was literally my last chance to get in the French team,
Yeah,
and I did it. So it was amazing. But because of this, because I climbed on a broken ankle and I kind of damaged it a bit more. I had to stop climbing for almost a year after this. And
okay.
when I went back to competitions in France, I was with the adults, and then I was not as strong as I wanted to be
Yeah,
because I lost a lot of time. And also, when you switch from youth categories to adults, it's not at all the same level. So it was really hard to get in the French team with the adults.
yeah,
And I didn't feel like competing anymore just to be 20th or 15th or even 10th in France. I wanted to be in the French team, so basically in the 5, 6 best athletes in France.
yeah,
And I quite fast realized that it would not be possible, that I was just not strong enough basically compared to the other girls,
Yeah.
because I've never been like incredibly strong at climbing.
Yeah.
So I realized this, and I thought like, this is not what makes me thrive anymore, competitions. I don't want to go there and not be as good as I want to be. So I slowly stopped competing.
Yeah.
And then I just switched to rock climbing. Yeah, I discovered rock climbing basically, and I discovered projecting, and I just fell in love with this. And like, projecting, like long-term projecting, that's really what yeah, made me love climbing again, I guess.
Okay. So what is it about projecting that you like?
It's like, it's a lot of failures
Yeah.
because when you have a long-term project, basically every day you're failing, right? Because
Yeah.
it's gonna take, like my first AC, it took me 3 years to send it.
Yeah.
So every day for 3 years, basically I was failing. But because of this, because there's so much failures involved, and there are so many sacrifices that you make along the way, that the day you actually achieve your goal, wow, it's incredible. Like yeah, these feelings I had when I actually sent my first 80, I couldn't stop crying because I was so proud of myself for overcoming all these obstacles, and also for trying hard and never give up
Yeah.
basically. For me, it's really that feeling of never giving up and fight for your dreams basically, that makes me love these long-term projects. But I think it's not made for everybody because of the same reason, because there is so much failures
Yeah.
along the
Yeah.
way. So yeah, I think it's not an easy thing to do, but me, I love it.
Yeah. So how do you stay, I guess, how do you stay motivated throughout all those, I guess, failures, if you want to label them as failures?
Mm-mm. Yeah, we could talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're not motivated anymore, and that's okay. I think the key for me is simply to accept this, that there will be a lot of ups and downs on this journey, and sometimes you will not be motivated anymore, but that's okay because it will come back eventually. And what really helps me with this is to have what I like to call them mini goals.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, doing well, getting a high point, obviously,
Yeah.
doing a specific link, or reaching that crux, or reaching the other crux, or having the one hang or something like this. So you can actually tick boxes, because I write that down in a journal, so I can tick some boxes. And this,
Okay.
just that feeling of ticking a box, it makes you feel that you actually achieved something. So even though you did not send the route itself,
Yeah.
you did something, you achieved something. So it's a success. And I started doing this maybe 3 years ago, I think,
Yeah.
and it's been helping me so much
Yeah.
on this journey. And also, obviously, having side projects, a bit easier projects, so you actually clip an anchor from time to time, because also that's something you start missing along the way,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah, like yesterday I sent an 8A plus, and I was like, ah, that's something. It's a step towards my main project. You know, it's something good on the way.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're having a diary and you write it down. I guess it's also taking that moment to acknowledge to yourself that you've achieved something
Yeah,
and taking that moment. I think it's too easy to focus, and I think that you get a lot of that in society where people focus on the end goal but forget about, I know it sounds really cheesy, but people forget about the journey. People
exactly.
forget about the small gains they make.
Mm-mm. Yeah. And I think also sitting down and writing all those things in a diary, it makes you also realize that if you want to send that route, you're gonna have to reach all those mini goals before. Like it's many steps
Yeah,
towards the end, the destination. It's not like you start working on the route and in 2 days you're going to send it. No, there are many steps along the way, and you need to be strong enough to do all these steps.
yeah,
And for me, it also helps to see this. It's like, ah, okay, right now I'm not strong enough to clip the anchor, but maybe I'm strong enough to do this mini goal and this link and this.
yeah,
And this. I think it's really interesting. And I even put the dates where I reached those goals on it
Okay.
to see
So
the improvement.
so I guess you must be quite good at self-awareness to reflect on your performances and kind of take that time and think, well, what is it in that performance that I struggled with, and what can I do to make that better?
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, well, at the end of a climbing day, I always reflect on the day, what happened, what went wrong, if something went wrong, or what went actually well. And I think what I believe that you always learn something, even though you didn't reach a high point, even though you didn't do any good link or anything, you will always learn something. It can be like a very small detail, like the different position for a foothold, or just realizing that, okay, today I was not good. I climbed like shit, basically, but
Yeah.
I woke up and I was not very motivated. I was not feeling really good because I had a bad night. So now that's what I learned. That if I feel like this, if I feel like I'm not super motivated, maybe it's not worth climbing on your project because you're not going to do something good.
Yeah.
And you learn things about every climbing day, I think, every
Yeah, yeah,
little
yeah.
go.
Yeah. Or it could go the other way where if you're not feeling it, you get to the crag and you start climbing without expectation,
And then you do
and then
something
somehow you send
really
your
good.
route.
Yes, that's exactly what happened for me 2 days ago. I had
Yeah.
pain in my elbow, in my shoulder. I didn't even want to climb, and I was like, I'm just gonna see if it's actually painful when I climb on my mini project. And
Yeah.
I climbed on it, and I fell 2 moves below the anchor, and I would have never expected this. And actually, it's funny because I ticked all my mini goals boxes in one go,
Yeah.
except the red point one,
Yeah.
which is a bit disappointing. But no, I was actually really happy because I had zero expectations, and
Yeah.
that's when it happened.
Yeah.
Well, it almost happened.
I know it's funny, isn't it? How on the times when you have no expectations and you're tired, sometimes even at the end of a session, you somehow climb something and you pull out the bag. And on the days when, and I'm speaking for myself here, and on the days when I'm super psyched, um, I sometimes spend too much energy because I'm
Mm-mm.
so excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're overthinking things, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically.
And then you add pressure because you're like, I
Yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah.
good. I need to be able to climb it. And then you climb like shit.
And also when you're on the route itself, like sometimes I'm at a rest and I feel like, oh yeah, I'm feeling so good today. So I have to send because I'm feeling way better than the other days. Like I can feel it in my climb. And that's when the pressure starts building up. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, you're going to sleep or something because you're just like overthinking things.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I remember my second 8C, it's called Mind Control, it's in Oleana. So
Yeah.
I worked so hard for it for months. I felt ready and I kept falling. And one day I just couldn't handle the pressure anymore. So I decided to take a break from it. So I told my coach, okay, I need to stop trying this route because I just can't handle the pressure anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go back to training for a couple of months and then come back and try again. And I decided to give up basically, or put the project on the side for a moment. And I went to the crag that day, well, the next day, and I thought, I'm just gonna try the route to say goodbye to it, to say,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna see you again in a few months. And that's when I actually sent the route. And like the climbing was incredible. I climbed perfectly. I had zero pressure, and that's exactly when I sent because I had decided to give up on it, basically. So it's
Yeah.
crazy what the mind can do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could we could switch our brains off? Like
Yeah.
if we can switch our brains off and go climbing and just perform at our physical max on that day,
Mm-mm.
we do amazing things.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But
So
that's the hardest part in climbing, I think, like
yeah,
handling the mind,
yeah, 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 yeah,
basically.
yeah. And how do you what's the pressure like when you go to comps?
I think I have, well, I like to think that I have a bit less pressure because now I'm competing again, but I'm not training specifically only for it. Like
Yeah,
I'm mostly climbing outdoor most of the year, and then I do the competitions after. But it's not like the other girls, like they only train on plastic, they're
yeah,
focused solely on indoors competitions. So they
yeah,
only train for it. And it's not my case. So I feel like I'm supposed at least to have a bit less pressure, but I'm still a competitor deep down. So it's always a bit, and also it's a bit weird because I came back to the international circuit a few years ago with Iceland because I had the opportunity of competing again with Iceland. So I thought it would be a super cool idea. But I showed up on the circuit again, and I'm 33, well, almost 44 years old. So I'm basically 10 to 15 years older than the other girls on the
Yeah.
circuit. I'm like the grandma on the circuit, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also I'm not training for it specifically. So like my level compared to the other girls is quite low, and I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
So I should definitely have less pressure. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but if I show up, that means I still have to be good, I still have to show them that I'm capable of doing things and I'm worth, like I belong here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this has been a bit tough to deal with mentally, just because I feel like I don't belong there, basically.
And
That
like
I'm a bit
imposter
like the
syndrome.
outsider and that I should not be there because I'm not strong enough.
But that's
Uh,
that I think that's a very common feeling that not just you has, but everyone. I think everyone
yeah,
has to deal with that.
yeah.
Yeah, to
Like I
some
think that
extent.
feeling of belonging is super interesting, and it's a hard thing to handle.
Yeah. But I mean you've worked hard, right? And you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've never been last at the competition so far, so I'm like, well,
Well, but
there's that.
even if you are last, right, you're just going to put more work into it and just
Yes,
try,
and
try
someone has to
harder.
be last anyway, and it doesn't mean anything. Like if you're there, like, I think yeah, you belong there, and that's
Yeah,
all.
and sometimes I guess in competitions, I guess you guys, apart from the boulders, especially when it comes to lead and stuff, you guys have got one chance, and
Mm-mm,
if you
yeah,
make a mistake, then that's it, isn't it? And you can't always predict, and it could be a moment of lapse of concentration. It could be like on that day you're expected to perform at your best, and you might be physically really climbing really well, but then you've got so many other things to deal with.
yeah,
You've
for
got
sure.
you've
It's
got
really
people
hard to
watch.
be present at that specific time, at this specific day. Like I think the competition, it does not reflect at all your level. It's just
Yeah,
one day at this hour, at this specific minute, and that's all. And yeah, like you said, you can make a mistake, and wow, these things happen, and it's not a reflection of your level on in
yeah,
climbing for sure.
yeah.
But
And
that's
then
not always easy to accept this.
of course, yeah. I guess if you're a competitive character, I guess that's quite hard to see because you then put the pressure and have an expectation to want to perform because
Yeah, yeah.
you've worked so hard, and I guess you're like, right, it's down to this moment.
Exactly. And you want to be the best, but not necessarily the best of the world, but you want to be your best at
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
that's not
yeah.
an easy thing to do.
No, of course not. And you can have a foot slip. You can have
Yeah.
maybe the route doesn't like there's one move on the route that doesn't quite suit your style. Maybe
Mm-mm.
your focus isn't exactly where it needs to be. You slip off, and then that's
Yeah. And
it.
that's the end of the
That's
competition. But
yeah.
well,
You've worked so hard to get there.
yeah,
And
exactly.
I guess as a woman, it's even like you then have hormones and fluctuations in hormones that then have an effect on how you might perform on the day, as well as on top of that, like the jet lag from traveling.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
All these things, they add up. And yeah, maybe because of them, you won't be able to perform, but that's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So do you like? So what is it? Do you like the pressure that you get in competitions, or do you like an audience watching? Do you perform better with people watching, or worse?
I don't really think about that, to be honest. I don't mind having people watching, for sure. And it's like at the crag, sometimes we shoot with a drone, for example, or someone on the rope next to me to shoot some videos. And I know that there are many people who don't like this. And
Yeah.
for me, it's like I really don't care. And for the competitions, it's a bit the same. But if you ask me, like the 2 hours before the competition, I will tell you that I cannot handle the pressure and I hate it and I want to stop competing because it's way too hard. But right after the competition, I find it so exhilarating. Like I'm always like, oh no, I actually do love it. And yeah, you have the pressure and it's hard to handle the pressure, but at the
Yeah,
same time, it's what also makes it feel really good afterwards because you manage to overcome that pressure,
yeah,
and it's something.
yeah. There's a great saying that they have at the Wimbledon, and it says pressure is a privilege.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
completely agree.
yeah,
And it can make you do really good things actually. Like without pressure at all, it's hard to perform, I think.
yeah. So I guess when you go to competitions and you're put in isolation, how like I've never been there, but how does that feel when you're there without anyone there?
Well, you have your coach there, so you're not
Okay.
completely alone. And if you have a big team, you also have your teammates. So when I was competing with the French team and in local competitions as well, we always had a team, so it was actually quite good. Not that I'm competing with Iceland; it's a very small team, so I'm most of the time alone or on my own with a coach. But you learn how to deal with it. You just have to put your focus on other things and do a bit of meditation, maybe, or read a book, or yeah, I don't know. I think the most important is not to focus on the other girls because that's what you have a tendency to do, like to
Yeah.
compare yourself with girls. And I think when you're actually at the time of warming up, it's the worst thing because you always watch the other girls and like, oh, they did this move and I can't do it and I can't do it. So that means that I'm gonna be really bad at the competition because she can do it and I can't. So
Yeah.
how am I gonna beat this girl in the actual competition? And that's the worst thing possible because people can be like world champions of warming up in ISO before the comp, but they
Yeah.
can also like fuck up in the route afterwards.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah. Yeah.
happens to everybody. So it doesn't mean anything. So I think it's for me, it's really the key to try not and compare myself to the others, which is not an easy thing to do,
Yeah.
obviously. But yeah, just focus on your own climbing and on your own warm up, and that's all.
Yeah. So may listen to some music, right?
Yeah, I always have music.
What, some techno music?
Yeah, of course, trance and hard techno. Well, you got to get excited for the comp, no?
Yeah, I guess different things, right? Like I think music has such a big influence. Like I love music, and different types of music will have a different effect on me when I go
Mm-mm.
climbing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and th so, sometimes I need something to relax me, and sometimes I need something to get me going.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Cool. So you mentioned failure, right,
Yes.
earlier.
I don't really like calling them failures, but I can be super negative in the way I'm speaking. It doesn't mean that inside I'm negative.
You're
But
not
it's
negative at all. I was going to say you come across as a very optimistic person.
depends on the days, to be honest. But no, I'm not a negative person, for sure. But it's mostly also because I think people see this as failures,
Yeah,
whereas they're not, because you're, like I said, even if you're not going higher on the route itself, you still learned something. So that means it's a success. It was a success.
yeah. So what do you think is the difference between um, the high-end athletes and maybe the more recreational climbers when it comes to mindset?
Hmm. That's a really good question. I think the main difference is that exactly like the recreational climbers, they're gonna see this as a failure, whereas you're gonna learn from it.
Yeah,
The same thing can happen at a competition. Like if you're not a good competitor, you're gonna if you slip at a competition and you fall and okay, it was the worst competition in your life, you want to stop. Like basically, you want to stop competing because it was a big failure for you. You're not going to learn anything from it.
yeah,
Whereas a real pro athlete is going to be like, okay, I made a mistake that day, but that means I need to work on this because the foot slip, yeah, okay, it happens, but usually it happens because you are not focused enough or you made a
Yeah.
mistake. You placed the foot on the wrong side of the hole, or I don't know, something. So
Yeah.
there's always something to learn from it. And I think that's the main difference, that we are gonna, well, I say we, but people.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to try to learn from our mistakes and learn from our failures and
Yeah.
not see them as failures anymore. And we're going to fight against it
Yeah.
because, yeah, you're going to fight to come back, basically.
Yeah. 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 I think the biggest skill that I think the biggest skill that any climber can have is building self-awareness, building self-awareness on your physical being when it comes to climbing and your mental being when it comes to climbing, and taking those moments to really analyze down to the fine detail what things affect your climbing and what
Mm-mm.
it is that you can do better. And I think
Yeah.
that's a skill that's really undervalued and maybe not practiced enough by people.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think everybody who wants to be like a high level athlete or something should have a mental coach
Yeah,
because there's so much to work with the mindset and everything. Like we said earlier, like the power of the brain. Well,
yeah,
it's so important for every sport, not just for climbing, and for
yeah, yeah,
sports and for your job as well, and for your life in general, actually.
yeah. Have you got a mental coach?
Um, Not anymore. I
Okay,
used to
okay,
when I was competing the first years with Iceland because I was trying to actually qualify for the Olympics. So
yeah,
I got a mental coach because it was a huge thing. And I learned a lot with him, and now I'm reusing all the tools that he gave me. So
okay,
I'm not working with someone specifically for this, but I have all the tools, so I know how to do it. And
okay,
also my coach, my trainer, Melissa Leneve, I kind of use her as a mental coach also.
okay.
Like I use her as a therapist as well. Like she's everything for me. I'm really taking advantage of her. So I think that's a sort of thing. Like a normal coach for climbing or for sports is not gonna just be a physical coach. He's gonna be a bit more. If he's a good coach,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and it's gonna help you working on the mental
yeah.
side.
Yeah. So what over all these years with the support you've had, what have you learned from those coaches or that coach about yourself?
Um, I've learned that I have a tendency to stress really fast,
Okay.
but that I also actually know myself and I know how to calm myself super easily in the end. And I'm really good at visualization,
Yeah,
for example.
visualization.
So yeah, so it's something I can use easily. And I learned that when I actually do trust myself,
Yeah.
I'm capable of doing really good things. And it's all about having that mindset where you're not negative anymore. Like you're more like, oh, okay, like you know how to do this. You're strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
Because, for example, trying a move on the board or on the climbing wall, uh, it's really easy for me to tell myself like, ah, no, like this looks way too hard, I'm not capable of doing it. Whereas if I think just, oh, I could try it, not even manage to do it, but I could try it, I'm capable of trying it, and just telling myself this, I realized that yeah, I can actually try it and I can actually sometimes do the move.
Yeah.
So it's all about self-confidence and
Yeah.
self-trust or something like this.
Self-belief. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Self-belief, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So how do you use the visualization process?
When I have a project, like at night, sometimes I just repeat the moves in my head. Or also if I'm actually climbing on the route and I'm at a rest, so I have time to watch the next part, the coming part, and I usually well, it's really hard
Vi
for me to
Visualize. Yeah.
visualize, yeah,
Fine.
myself
We know what you
doing the
mean,
move.
Svana.
Yeah, thank you. So I visualize myself doing the moves that are coming next,
Yeah,
because I've been there, I've done them already, so I know how to do it. And this is really helpful. And also sometimes I actually visualize myself clipping the anchor when I'm at home, like just even if I'm doing something else. But I'm like, okay, like it's really important to see yourself succeeding.
yeah.
So even if I'm far from actually doing the routes, like doing these exercises from time to time, visualizing, no, you know what I
Visualize.
mean?
Yes,
Yeah. Where seeing yourself actually
yes,
clipping that anchor,
yeah,
well, first of all, it's a really cool feeling, and it's gonna help for when you will actually do it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I dream of my projects all the time. It get
Yeah.
it gets a bit boring. Even at night when I'm lying in bed, I might dream of some of the moves and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, I need to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. I like
Yeah,
to say that I really live my project. So I sleep my project, I eat my project, I
yeah,
walk my project, like everything.
yeah. Do you draw them?
No, I do not draw them actually.
Okay.
That I know that's something that many people do, but I don't. But I have the list of my mini goals, and I have a list of the different sections. I don't
Yeah.
really need to draw them.
Yeah. No, I have some projects I draw. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just to hold so I can memorize, especially if there's something I haven't played on for a while, I can go back to it and go, oh, what kind of hold was that? Because I forgot.
Yeah, I think it's super helpful.
Yeah.
But when you actually climb in Oliana and your projects are 120 moves,
Okay.
like drawing all the moves and all the holes, like good luck with that.
So you need a big sheet of paper.
Yeah, exactly. You could draw on your walls or something.
Yeah, yeah. So so one of your mentors is that Jorg?
Jorg?
Yeah, Jorg. Jorg. I say the Dutch way, so I'm
Ah,
Dutch.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, what were you saying? Sorry.
What was it, or is he, or has he been one of your mentors, mentoring you through, I guess, some of the competition stuff?
Yeah, definitely. He's such well, he used to be such a good competitor because he doesn't compete anymore, but he knows so much about it
Yeah,
and so much about climbing in general and all styles of climbing. It's not just plastic climbing, it's also trad climbing and multi-pitch, big walls, all these things.
yeah,
He has a lot of experience of competing also at a very high level
yeah,
and climbing at a high level. So it's very helpful to have his insights on things
yeah,
because he knows how to deal with it.
yeah, yeah. And has that been really helpful?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And also he knows me really well. He knows what I'm capable of doing. So when he actually tells me, no, no, you can do this move, I'm like, okay, he knows better than me, I think. So maybe I can try and yeah, I will be able to do the move.
Okay, yeah,
It's really nice to have a climbing partner who knows you that well, that he knows what you're capable of.
yeah,
Because for training, it's also super motivating because he's going to set some boulders that are going to be really hard for you, but that you can actually do. Whereas if I set some boulders for myself, I will set something that's way too easy because I know what I can do. So I'm like, okay, this I'm not sure. So I will just set
yeah,
something a bit easier and make sure I'm staying in my comfort zone, basically.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's really hard, isn't it? I think sometimes you need somebody to push you on, and
Yeah.
especially when we go to, I don't know, when we look in guidebooks or we go to climbing centers, the first thing we look at is the grade, right?
Yeah.
Because we need a reference that
Mm-mm.
means that either we're going to give ourselves the right challenge that we think we should put ourselves in. And if we think of ourselves as we are such like we're an 8A climber, so I'm going to go and pick an 8A, as
Mm-mm.
opposed to oh, I'm an 8A climber, but maybe I should put myself on an 8B plus just to see what that's like and
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
expose myself to it. And I think as soon as you take grades away, like people will jump on things that they might never have tried before and be surprised with their performance.
Mm-mm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When I started projecting my first 8C, I was climbing 8A, 8A plus. I had done two 8Bs in my whole life. And I started trying at 8C because my boyfriend at the time was like, "Oh, I think you're gonna like it." And I was like, "Well, I did two 8Bs, like no way I can climb on an 8C." But I tried and I actually did all the moves on my on the first time I went up the route. So I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, okay, if I can do all the moves, then that means eventually I will be able to do the routes." And that's how I did it. And I
Yeah.
did 8C before I did 8B plus, thanks to this actually.
Yeah, 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 yeah. If you can do all the moves, you can climb it. It's just
Yeah,
a case
definitely.
of being fit enough and
Yeah,
spending
you're
enough
gonna
time
have
on
to
it.
invest a bit and train and try hard and fight, but that means it's possible.
Yeah, yeah. So, what is it? Jorg, he referenced to you as his Padawan.
Yeah. Kinda, yes.
Yeah. So for all the listeners out there, so I had to look it up because I had no idea what it meant. I was like,
No? Come
no,
on.
I'm not into Star Wars. Sorry.
Oh my God, you're missing on so
I
much.
know, I know. I tried to watch it when I was younger and didn't like it.
Wow,
Um, but yeah, I had
I'm
to look it up.
sorry.
I'm like, what is Padawan? Right, type it in. Oh, it's a Star Wars reference.
Yeah. I'm the Padawan, yeah. I'm learning
Yeah,
a lot from him.
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, he's I think when you look at his record, is like an incredible record, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Super impressive.
relentless. Cool. So what sacrifices have you had to make as a professional athlete?
Well, first of all, I moved to Spain. So I had all my friends and family in France, and I moved to Spain. I didn't know, I barely knew anyone here. I had to build my life from the beginning again here
Yeah,
and build, yeah, my new family here. And it was not always easy because it was really out of my comfort zone. I also accepted to live with way less money by working part time, which is also not easy every day. And that's also the reason why I live in Spain and not in France.
yeah,
Um, and also, I think, especially when I was trying to qualify for the Olympics, I basically said no to everything, every small holiday, every small party, or just gathering with friends. I was
yeah,
like, no, because I want to invest everything. So if I want to do this, I want to do it 500%. So yeah, and I was not unhappy about this. I was happy of making all these sacrifices because I
yeah,
knew I had to make them. But yeah, if I want to achieve something big, I need to put all the chances on my side. And I think that's actually something that York learned from me. That, yeah, if you want to achieve something big, you have to invest 500%. And
yeah,
that means you will have to make sacrifices along the way. And that's not an easy thing to say, to do. And I could choose to have like easier projects and do them fast and not sacrifice that much, but it's not what I choose to do. And I think that's what many people don't really realize. They just see you living in Spain and enjoying the sun
yeah,
in Catalonia and having
yeah,
fun and climbing every day, but it's not fun every day to climb, to be honest. When you're training, like it's a lot of torture. I like to call it torture, but you're not enjoying all the time.
yeah,
And when we say no pain, no gain, it's kind of true actually. Like there's a lot of pain involved, and
yeah,
but if yeah, like for me, it's okay to do this and to suffer a bit because I know the destination. I know why I do all this. But yeah, like people should not think that being a high level athlete is something easy because it's not just about enjoying life and doing some sport for fun. Like you're actually in pain most of the time.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
like I said, you have a lot of failures and you're doubting yourself a lot as well. So it's something quite hard to do, I think.
yeah. I guess as I guess from an outsider, what we see is we see the beautiful Instagram photos or the
Yes.
beautiful Instagram videos with in beautiful places and you've sent this and you've sent that and there's a beautiful video. but I guess we don't see the suffering. We don't
Yeah.
see the having to get up maybe on days when you're tired, maybe having to get up early, having to go and do training session. Like nobody sees that. Nobody sees the amount of relentless hard work you have to put into something if you want to do something big.
Yeah, exactly. It's blood and tears, and sometimes like literally
Yeah, yeah,
blood
yeah,
and tears.
yeah, yeah,
And also, I think one of the biggest sacrifices I made is like my own health, because when you're training that much, and sometimes you're training on injuries as well. I've been doing this a lot. Like you sacrifice your own health because on a long term, it's not going to be really good. Like I've had many injuries and surgeries the past years, and when I'm, I don't know, 50 or 60 years old, I have no clue how my body is going to handle this because I've been pushing it like a lot. So
yeah,
like, yeah, who knows what's going to
yeah.
happen.
So what kind of injuries have you had?
Of everything, but I broke both ankles. My knees are damaged as well. I broke pulleys, tendinosis, and all these things like basic climbing stuff.
Yeah, so I think speaking from my, I guess, experience and like I've had quite a big list of injuries, and I'm sure when you speak to a lot of climbers who try like pushing it, I'm guessing a lot of people have experienced injuries, and it's not nice, is it?
Oh no, not at all.
No, it's I think. Uh, I think for me, some of the injuries, especially my first injury, and then lots of other injuries I've had since then, have been really emotional.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I've been in tears um,
Yeah.
quite a few times because I guess climbing is me, climbing is my identity, climbing is my work, climbing is my friends.
Yeah, it's basically your whole life. So when all of a sudden it stops and you didn't choose this, like you're like, who am I? Like I don't even know who I am without climbing.
Yeah,
And like I've been sick, like I got diagnosed with endometriosis this year, which is a chronic and inflammatory disease. And while it really shattered my life. Um, and like for 3 months this summer, I was in pain every day. Every day I was crying because I was just not feeling good in my body and I couldn't climb as well as I wanted to do. And it was really hard because I was like, yeah, like what am I gonna do? Who am I without all this? I
yeah,
really don't know. And with injuries, it's the same. Like I've cried so much, so many times because of injuries. Because yeah, you feel like an abandoned child, basically.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's yeah. So what is endometriosis?
Endometriosis, it's the disease that affects mostly women related to periods.
Okay.
So it's something wrong going on related to your menstrual cycle, but it can be like way worse than this, and it can be like me, and you have pain every day. And when I say pain, and I mean like extreme pain. It's not
Yeah,
like pain I take an ibuprofen and I'm gonna be okay. It's pain
yeah.
like sometimes I end up in the hospital. Sometimes I throw up because of the pain. It's sometimes I want to actually take a knife and cut my belly open because I think that's the only solution to get rid of the pain. So it's something quite bad that not that many people are aware of.
Yeah.
But it's a chronic disease. It's inflammatory. So when you start having pain, basically, the more pain you have, the more pain you will have because you will also become like hypersensitive
Okay.
to the pain, and there's no cure for it. So once you have it for your whole life. So they can only treat the symptoms, and I got surgery for it like almost 3 months ago now. So they got rid of the lesions, but they come back actually most of the time. And yeah, like I said, there's you don't get cured of it. So when you get diagnosed with it and you have it in such a bad way, like I had, it's something quite heavy
Okay.
for the mind. Because you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be sick for the rest of my life. It's not such a cool thing to think about.
Okay. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Thanks. Well,
Yeah.
I'm lucky because I have climbing in my life and it's been helping a lot.
Yeah.
Because actually practicing a sport, it releases endorphins, which
Yeah.
are natural painkillers.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really what saved me from depression the past month because I had climbing and I could climb despite the pain. That's what really helped me. I could be curled up in a little ball on the sofa, like crying because of the pain, then go to the gym, train, and then back to the sofa, back to crying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really crazy how sport can help with this. But yeah, you have to live with super heavy painkillers, and it's just not fun. You don't want to have this.
No.
But then you have to learn how to live with it, and you have to accept it. And that's what I've been working on with my therapist. That I have to accept that I'm going to be sick for the rest of my life. So like I'm responsible for what I do with this and how I
Yeah.
handle it. And yeah, I think well, we'll see.
Yeah. So
We'll see how it will go.
are there ways to manage it?
Yeah, like I said, painkillers, surgeries, like anti-inflammatory diet. You have lots of things to help manage the pain, but it's just what actually works for you. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
different for everybody. So
Yeah.
what works for this woman might not work for yourself. So I've
Yeah.
been trying many things. What works pretty well is just go to the hospital and get an IV of painkiller, but it's like you're
Yeah.
not gonna live like this.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just about handling the pain and trying to think about something else. And yeah,
I guess it's over time. I guess it's time, isn't it? It's over time that maybe you learn to figure out what works
what
with your
triggers?
body.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And yeah, sometimes you like for some people, gluten is a big trigger.
yeah.
So I've tried to eat gluten free. For some other people, it's just actually doing practicing too much, like having exercise like a bit too much. Then it's gonna trigger the pain. For me, it's not that, so that's good at least.
Yeah.
But there are different things for everybody, and I think you have to learn to listen to your body, and then you will learn what actually makes the disease worse, and then you can learn to you learn how to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes it's just you're gonna be in a lot of pain for many days, and you just have to deal with it. Like right now, I'm actually pain free. It's my sixth day. I'm counting them because it's quite rare.
Okay.
But before that, for 35 days in a row, I had my periods for 35 days in a row, and I had the pain, the heavy pain that comes with it, and it drives you completely crazy. And first of all, you're bleeding, so you lose a lot of energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
on top of this, you're in pain all the time, so you're on strong medicine all the time, and that's not a life. But you don't know when it's gonna end, this flare up, so you just have to adapt your life
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess like the only thing that I can relate it to is that I ended up with shoulder impingement on both shoulders, and I had extreme pain for 2 years on both shoulders. And I think like living with that constant reminder of pain is for me was mentally really draining.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, like and I think. I guess yeah, it's living with that pain was emotional, was hard work, was just dark times, and um, yeah, just I think climbing for me, I never stopped climbing. It kind of helped me manage my, I guess, stay in a good frame of mind. Seeing
Mm-mm.
friends and stuff, that helped me, and I guess keeping a diary and writing down. um, all the exercise I did because it was a physical thing with my shoulders. I had to write down all the physical things I did and to try and figure out what triggered it
Hmm.
and what I could do to make it better. And that was a 2 year,
Yeah.
I guess 2 years. And even now, and this is what, 8 years on, I'm 95, 96% better.
Hmm.
And there's still times when I get a little shoulder pain. And I'm like, oh, right, okay, I know what to
Yeah.
do now.
And
But
you
it's
get
been two
scared,
years,
no? Yeah.
2 years of fighting it.
Yeah,
Working,
2 years, I
not
can't even
fighting it,
imagine two
working with
years.
it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it really drives you insane. I remember at some point this summer, I just wanted to go to a psychiatric hospital and tell them, "Hey, I stay with you for a few weeks because it's like I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm feeling depressed. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat, and I'm really like starting to lose it, and I need someone to help me because I'm gonna die like this. Like
Yeah.
I can't."
You want
And
somebody to sedate you.
yeah, yeah, no, but for real,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
I'm
kidding. I
serious. I'm
wanted this. Yeah,
serious.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, having constant pain, it's 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 crazy what it does on your brain, on your
Yeah.
well, yeah, your sanity, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. It is, but because the pain, and I guess like I'm guessing you go to sleep, and then in your sleep you're not always 100% asleep, and then you wake up and you feel pain and fall asleep, so your sleep
Mm-mm.
is broken.
Yeah,
So that's going to be tough.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, also, if you don't know that it's gonna get better, it's really hard, huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, I think I think you've been through a lot of injuries, right, with your climbing, and you seem to have I guess, as well as being a normal human being with emotions, you seem to be a fighter deep down inside.
Yeah, I always fight back
Yeah, yeah.
at some point.
Where does that come from? That fighting spirit?
I don't know. Maybe my parents. I
Yeah.
don't know. Or maybe just because I grew up with two older brothers and they were constantly beating me. So I had to fight
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
because they were kind of pissed that I was a little girl. So they wanted me to be a little boy and be as strong as a little boy. So they tried to make me do things that were for boys at that time, even though we
Oh,
should not say this anymore.
yeah,
But they tried to turn me into a little boy, so I had to learn to fight back. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's the same. So, are you the youngest?
Yes, I'm the youngest.
Yeah. So, my sister. So, me and my brother are a year and a half apart, and our sister, she's the youngest. So it
Mm-mm.
sounds very familiar. But
Yeah, it's the
both,
same now.
yeah, both me and my brother were very boisterous and doing boy things and trying to
Yeah.
teach her to do boy things.
But honestly, I'm really happy they did because I'm proud of how of my resilience now and how
Yeah,
much of a fighter I am. Because
yeah.
otherwise, with all those obstacles in my life, it would have been really hard. Huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I guess do some research on you. You seem to be an extremely resilient person.
Yes, I am
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Just, I guess all you can do is get up, brush it off, and get on
Yeah,
with it, and try
yeah,
again.
definitely. Mm.
Yeah, try and try again. Cool. So I got carried away. So with your injuries, you're also quite what's the word? Quite creative
Mm-mm.
with some of adapting your training according to your injuries.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
like
I've
that.
learned like with all the experience with injuries that I had to be creative, and there's always something you can do. I think, well, except if you end up in a wheelchair without arms and without legs,
Yeah,
then there will be something you can do for sure.
yeah, yeah. I think climbers don't like not climbing.
No, we do
No,
not.
climbers don't like injuries.
No, yeah, well, who likes injuries anyway?
Yeah, I mean climbers when I say they don't like injuries, a climber will get an injury and kind of go, oh, well, I'll just keep climbing. They'll be fine.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah. A pulley injury, I'll just use some tape, put some tape on it.
that's what I did. I'm I'm not proud, but yeah, it's the same. I was trying to qualify for the Olympics, so I could not lose 3 months of climbing. So, but I actually it works super well for me. Like I climb with three fingers taped like this, always extended. So I never went into pain when I
Okay.
was climbing, and I climbed like this for I think 2 months. And I got way stronger with extended fingers.
Yeah.
So it really helped me, and it worked actually quite well. Yeah, and I did this with the approval of my surgeon, who had operated me on another pulley years ago, and the approval of my physio as well. So I was followed by everybody, and honestly it worked well for me because I did it also in a very, very serious way. I like to say that I'm the queen of recovery because I really follow all the rules of recovery. I'm gonna be in the gym doing rehab for hours if I'm injured because I really want to do this well. So I think I'm quite serious with it. So that's
Yeah.
also what helps.
Yeah. That's a lot of dedication.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Not many people I know would spend 3 hours in the gym rehabbing.
No, because it's boring.
Yeah, 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 including me.
Yeah, yeah. I went to a rehab center
Yeah.
once, 3 times for 1 month, and there you would train or rehab for 8 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's quite hard, but at the same time, you're so happy because you're doing everything that's right for your body, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite encouraging, I think.
So 8 hours of rehab.
Rehab and training.
Yeah, yeah,
For example, if I was injured, I was mostly going for my ankle, but also for a shoulder once.
yeah,
And if you're injured for the shoulder, you do like, I don't know, maybe 4 hours of rehab for the shoulder. Then for 2 hours, you're going to work on your legs, work on your core, work on your fitness, basic fitness. And
yeah,
there's a lot to do
yeah,
with
yeah,
all
yeah,
the injuries.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's always something we can do, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not enough time
Always.
in a day.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't know about you. I think I struggle with rest. I'm
Yeah,
always,
I cannot do this. I don't know how to do this. Like I'm
yeah,
terrible at it. Yeah.
I know I'm terrible at resting. I love climbing and I love training for climbing, and I'm
Yes.
terrible at resting.
Though it's really necessary for to be a good athlete to be able to rest, but I agree that it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah,
Like what I'm doing these days is I train that much and I climb that much that I'm really looking forward to a rest day now because I'm like,
okay.
wow, it's so much pain that I'm actually happy when it's a rest day. And today was a rest day and I was happy, but I'm really happy to go back to climbing tomorrow and to go back to training as
Yeah.
well.
So
It's all
what do you
about
do?
the balance.
What do you do on your rest days?
I take care of my house. I go for walks with my dog. I work. Yeah, all this
Okay.
basically.
Okay. Cool. You mentioned you had surgery on a pulley.
Yes, I did.
Why did you have, why did you have surgery on a pulley?
Because in France, back in the days at least, we operated a lot on pulleys and it was completely tore and it was also got detached from the bone. So at that time, the surgeon thought it would be better to get surgery for it, and I
Okay.
did, and actually it worked super well.
Okay.
It's just that pulley surgery takes a super long time to recover because for 3 months you cannot touch a hold, and 3 months is a long time just for something in the finger. It's like what?
Yeah.
But it worked well, yeah.
I think 1 week's a long time.
Yeah, I think 1 day is a long time.
So I had ankle surgery 2 maybe 3 years ago, and the surgeon said, look, for 3 weeks you can't do anything. Like in the first towards the end of the first week, I was so bored of being at home. I went to the local climbing gym with my leg in a boot and just went on the board, but obviously not using that leg.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't stay at home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like that's what I like to call a flamingo climbing, climbing with one leg. I've
Yeah,
been doing this. I also got ankle surgery and I broke my feet like many times, and I've always climbed with one leg, and it's actually such a good training. Like it
yeah.
makes you so strong because it's really good for the core, for the coordination, and to develop other skills. Like I've always come back way stronger after ankle or foot injuries. I actually
Okay.
love this. Like if you would have to choose, if I would have to choose between a pulley and an ankle, I would go for the ankle because it's so easy to train with a broken foot or something. Pooh,
Okay.
like yeah, I don't care about it anymore. It's
Yeah,
super
no,
easy.
I get that, but I like see I'm a route climber at heart. And I love the excitement of climbing and being high up on hard moves where there's the potential to fall.
Mm-mm.
And I love that. Whereas if with my ankle, I was bouldering or on a panel, I wasn't doing route climbing, so I didn't get that feeling.
But you could do a lead climbing with one leg. Like I've done it. I even climbed in Oliana. I did a 7C plus in Oliana with one leg. It works
Yeah,
super well. Like, yeah, yeah. And even leading, not even a top rope.
yeah. I'm
You
not
just
sure I
have to
could
be
climb
careful.
7C
It's
plus with one
yeah,
leg.
yeah.
I might have
That's
to do.
like that's what I said. You get super strong by
Yeah, of
climbing with
course you
one
do.
leg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course, yeah, yeah. So much more, and I guess you get a lot more precise. Yeah, I guess you work with your core, but you get a lot more precise with your feet,
Yeah, yeah,
with your
yeah.
one foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you also climb more dynamically, which is super interesting, I think.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Because you haven't got the other leg. I see.
Yeah. And for the core, like if you climb on a steep wall, why you always have to, because you always have to let go of one leg, no, the leg that's on the wall. So
Yeah.
you always have to activate the abs on every move,
Ah,
basically. So
okay.
wow, it's so good. I was climbing on the kilter board at 70 degrees. Wow, it was so cool.
With one leg.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
And it's good
cool.
because so you don't fall from very high. You're
That's true.
basically like you're 30 centimeters off the ground. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
it
yeah.
works super well. And for the core, phew, crazy. The
Maybe you should write a book on maybe you should write a book on how to climb with different types of climbing
of
injuries.
injuries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
Yeah.
with a disease, like I could do
Yeah,
something for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sure.
I mean, lots of creative ways, right? Because I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
like I've had five pulley injury, no, six pulley injuries, two full ruptures, and I think the first one I had, I'm like, oh, I can't go climbing. But you can because you
You
got the
can.
rest of your
Yeah.
body.
But then you will have all the doctors and physios coming back at you and telling you that you should not say these things because most of them they don't agree.
Oh, of
So
course, yeah.
yeah.
But if one finger is injured, you've still got nine, right? You've still got nine.
Yeah, but then you put more strain on the other fingers, so that's what's a bit risky about it as well.
But they get stronger.
So you have to do this in a smart way. That's the
Yes.
thing. Like I think I've always done it in a smart way, and that's why I never got any issues by training with injuries.
Yeah.
But like someone who just sees you climbing like this with a broken pulley is gonna do the same, but he's not gonna do it in a smart way, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna get more injured. So I think yeah, you have to be smart about these things
Yeah.
and know a lot on the injuries and your own body. So that's why I could not recommend this for everybody,
Okay. Yeah. Just for yourself.
for myself and those who are yeah, I don't know,
Super
psyched
mo
enough.
Yeah, psyched enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some of my friends they will say that although I don't have clear signs, I don't think that I've got ADHD.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I can't sit still for long.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Where are we? What's the dream in climbing?
Mm, I guess now my new dream is to climb 9A.
Okay.
I did not ever think that I would say something like that again in my life, but yeah, I would love to climb 9A. Now
Yeah.
that I achieved my dream of getting in the French team when I was young, uh, after that I had the dream of climbing in the Olympics with Iceland, but it was not gonna happen. And now, yeah, I would say 9A.
Okay, so 9A, and are you still part of the Icelandic team, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm still competing. I'm still
Okay.
planning on competing for a few more years.
Okay. So if you had to choose, I'm guessing I know what the answer is going to be.
9A.
Okay. No, no, that
Yeah, no,
wasn't
if I
the.
have to choose between plastic climbing and crag climbing, there's no, yeah.
So my question was going to be plastic or rock. I'm
Yeah,
guessing,
rock. No, no,
of
rock
course.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like I'm too old for plastic. And
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding when I'm saying this. It's just like I can't be that serious with competitions anymore because I'm 34 years old. I'm not going to compete for another 10 years.
yeah,
My body has limits, and I think plastic climbing is way more intense for the body
yeah,
than rock climbing. So
yeah,
yeah, rock climbing by far.
yeah. Cool. Okay. So just a random question. How do you think, or do you, your behavior, your cultural behavioral traits, is it French or is it Icelandic?
It's French. I grew up in France,
Okay.
so it's more French. And
Okay.
also, I'm really bad with cold temperatures. So, like for this, like, look, I live in Spain.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
spend the winter in the sun because, yeah, I don't handle cold that well, to be honest.
Okay. So the dream of becoming an ice climber just it's not going to
No,
happen.
no, 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 no.
No. Okay.
It's
Cool.
also it's also going because I don't really know much about ice climbing, but the only time I did ice climbing, I did the same move all the time, like repetitively, and I did not enjoy it. But
Okay.
I'm really sure that there's much more to ice climbing than this. It's just I only tried once and I did this, so I was like, I'm not enjoying it that much.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fun, and it's beautiful, but I'm not enjoying it that much, and it's scary as well if you do it outside.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not talking about ice climbing competitions, but on real ice, it's quite scary, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Especially when you come to Scotland, where the ice is not always that great.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, so you could be climbing ice that is nice to climb, but you can't put any protection in because the
Oof, yeah,
ice is
no,
shit.
yeah, not for me.
Need a good head. Um, so what's so far been the most emotionally rewarding moment in climbing for you or route?
Fisheye, my first HC in
Okay,
Oriana,
okay,
because like I said, I spent, well, and when I say I spent 3 years working on it, I was not living in Spain at the time, so I did not spend 3 years climbing on it every day for sure. It's
yeah,
just I was making specific trips to Spain for it. But it's more that in my head, I was living just for this route. I was training for it. I was, even if I would go climbing somewhere else, I was always thinking about this route. I did everything for this route, and I decided to work less for this route. Um, and also, I managed to send it after ankle surgery. So it was really a comeback for me. And yeah, I invested so much. And like I said, at that time, I only had done two 8Bs in my life, and I stepped up to 8C like
yeah,
this. So it was super rewarding. And yeah, I invested a lot for it. So
yeah.
I would say this
And I
was
guess
super emotional.
confirming to you that you've chosen your right path in life, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
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 definitely. And showing to myself that, yeah, I can do it. If I invest, I can actually do something.
yeah, yeah. Hard work. I think
Yeah.
anything in life, if you really want something in life, hard
If you
work.
work hard enough, I believe that you can
Yeah,
get it. Yeah.
yeah. And I think I read a book called Bounce, where it's a guy called Matthew Syed who talks about the myth of talent. So people see or perceive somebody to have a talent, although somebody might have a natural inclination to do something,
Mm-mm.
what people don't see is the hard work behind the scenes that's gone on for somebody to get to that level.
Yeah. I think talent does exist, but even with like extremely strong climber, like we say, like Adamondra or Yenya, like we always say, oh, but they're so talented. Yeah, okay, there is talent, but they're working so hard to
Yeah.
get where they are now. It's not just about talent; they train their ass off, and it's working, yes, but they're training like for real. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, a few more questions, and then I'll let you go. Um, what's the one part? What's the mental aspect in climbing that you feel that you have to work on yourself?
Mm, I think putting too much pressure on myself
Okay.
for a route because like sometimes I fall and I start shouting so loud because I'm really disappointed because I put all that pressure on myself and it's just a route, it's just a piece of rock. So it's nothing. If you think about it in life, it's nothing to send a route. Like it's not going to change the world or anything. And sometimes you put that much pressure on yourself
Yeah.
for something like this, and it's a bit like I don't know. It feels a bit unbalanced. The importance.
The importance, yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
importance of that thing. I think it's actually important that it's important for you, but at the same time, I think you have to face reality, and it's just a piece of rock. And sometimes I have a tendency to forget this. That well, especially now with the disease, I realize that there are things in life that are way more important, and health is part of it. So yeah.
Yeah. But I think that shows passion, right? That
Yeah,
shows passion in what you're doing and that you care.
definitely. But sometimes passion can turn into obsession. And there is a fine line between the two, I think, and you have to be careful with this, I think.
So do you feel that you're passionate about climbing or obsessed with climbing?
A bit of both.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
obsession is not necessarily a bad thing if you know how to manage it.
Yeah.
It's just for some people, it can be being obsessive can be really bad. But I think if you learn how to handle it, how to manage it, I think it can be actually quite a good thing. But it's just, yeah, that's it's all about the balance.
But I guess it does get to a point where I think if you are climbing at a certain level, that there needs to be an element of obsession.
Yeah, you have to be obsessed at some point. Like if you're gonna climb way above your level, if you have really big goals, you have to be a little bit. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's exactly what I was saying about being 500% invested in something. I think you need this if you want to achieve big things.
yeah,
And when I say big things, I'm not talking about sending a 9C or something. I mean big things for yourself. So for
yeah,
someone, it can be a 6A. For someone, it can be a 7A.
yeah,
For me, it would be 9A or 8C plus this year.
yeah,
But it can be even a 5C for someone else. It's just, I
yeah,
mean, something that is above your level or like a really big goal.
yeah. A very individual challenge.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And what's your superpower? What's it when it comes to the mental side of climbing?
Mm, I think I know how to bounce back
Yeah,
pretty fast after failures or after injuries or like deceiving things, disappointments and stuff. I um, I can be crying about something and 5 minutes later and want to give up on like give up climbing, like retire for climbing. Like I can
yeah,
be super dramatic. And 5 minutes later, I can be back at the gym and training like hell because I'm super psyched again.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I know how to switch my mindset quite fast, I think.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I think maybe the emotions is um I guess is part of your part of being passionate about something
Mm-mm.
and having invested time into it.
Yeah.
And I guess you're super focused, right? You're yeah, focused on climbing, and we I think a lot of climbers really love climbing. Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
yeah, yeah. So, and what last thing, what advice would you give other climbers when it comes to the mental side?
Just never be afraid to follow your dreams, even if you have people doubting you and saying that no, it's way too hard for you, you cannot do it, blah blah blah, or there's no point in following this dream because it's just, yeah, it's just too hard. Like, and so what? If it's too hard, okay, it's too hard, but like, who cares? Like, I think the most important is the destination. No, no, exactly the opposite. The most important is the journey, not the destination.
Yeah,
And it's super important to believe in yourself. And even though at the end of the journey you don't reach that destination, it's okay because you will have learned so much along the way that it will be super beneficial, I think. And like when I followed that dream of trying to qualify for the Olympics, we realized quite fast that it was not going to happen, that I would need a miracle for it to happen. But I still decided to keep going. I invested a year and a half of my life for this, even knowing that at the end it would not work, I would not qualify, but because I thought it was worth it, because I met people along the way. I learned things about myself, and I pushed my limits like hell. And it was like, for me, it was super beneficial. And it's the same with my first AT. I could have given up so many times, especially after surgery and everything. But in the end, I did not. And I was so proud of everything. And now looking back, I can say that I never gave up, and I'm proud of everything I've achieved so far. And because I kept believing in my dreams, and I dared to follow them. And I think it's super important. If you want something that bad, like, yeah, like, take your chance and go for it.
yeah,
I think it would always be worth it,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because at least you've tried, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. I think there's a very famous talk that Jim Carrey did, and he was talking about his dad, and what he learned from his dad was that he looked up to his dad, and his dad was quite funny, and his dad chose to go into finance because he chose the safe option in life because he thought
Mm-hmm.
that that would be better. And he learned from watching his dad that you may as well choose something that you're passionate about, and potentially fail at that, and have no regrets than going for a safe option in life, because you will then be on your deathbed and look back and think, well, what if I did?
Exactly. And that's
Yeah,
the thing I didn't want to tell myself in the future, like, what if I did? And I think for me, the only people who like really fail in life is the people who don't try. Like, if you try, then it will be a success, no
yeah,
matter
yeah,
no matter what happens, because you've tried, and yeah, you've done something
yeah.
for yourself. So it's super important,
And
I
don't
think.
listen to anybody else because only you know yourself better.
Yeah, and yeah, it's your own life, not anyone else's
Yeah.
life. So yeah.
Yeah, even your parents or friends don't know what is best for you. Sometimes they do. I'm not saying don't ever listen to your friends or
No, no,
family.
of course not. But if you feel like doing something, if you feel like investing in something, yeah, just do it.
Yeah, cool.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for your time, Savannah. I
Thanks for
really
having
appreciate
me.
it. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast with Svana. It was really nice to have a chat with her, super optimistic, and love her just relentless drive and resilience. If you have any suggested topics you'd like us to talk about, or you have any people you'd like us to interview, please send us an email or contact us on social media, and we'll see you next time.